Plant munchers are back at it again with their arrogance and haughty behavior, critiquing other people that actually may or may not know what they're talking about. Most of the time they actually do know what they're talking about. Today we have Liam Fisher Layton. You may have seen him on TikTok before. In this case, it's a Facebook reel. I've done a video on him before in the past, but today we're going to do another, hammering in on what he has to say about plant munching. So if you had any insecurities about your position on a carnivore diet, I think a lot of people migrate to this channel for that reason, to reinforce their positioning on diet. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do here today. Because frankly, if you are convinced by Liam Fisher Layton, rest assured that you don't need to feel like your ideology is threatened and your position on diet is threatened, because this guy is dumber than a box of rocks, frankly, and more arrogant than really most of the people that I've reacted to online. So we're going to jump directly into this and see what he has to say. I haven't watched this video through, but he's reacting to someone that I'm also unaware of in terms of their personality, who they are, whatever, what they do. Doesn't matter. We're going to be reacting to it right now. So let's get going.
Number one, if it says light, low fat, or fat free, stays in the grocery store, because if they took the fat out, they put carbs and chemicals in.
Exactly.
Well, for the most part, yes. And that's because, well, fat is a lot more tasty and appetizing, and a lot of times they will compensate for that lack of fat with a bunch of additional carbohydrates. Carbohydrates being something that are not required for human consumption and above a certain physiological concentration within the bloodstream that is most conducively achieved by consuming the damn things are toxic. So that's also something that's really important to consider. The fact that our efficiency for gluconeogenesis is that of hypercarnivores, which indicates that we had a positive selection pressure to develop that efficiency, and we have not had a negative selection pressure that has eliminated it or caused it to atrophy in any degree, which means that, well, we shouldn't be consuming carbohydrates, at least to any significant degree whatsoever. Okay, really 20 grams and below is what I typically say. What I really typically say is 0 grams, okay? 0 carbohydrates to speak of at all, okay? Fat is something that actually has been consumed and that our genes have evolved to withstand and have encountered regularly over the course of millions of years of our existence, okay? So that's a different story, all right? But the second thing she talked about is chemicals. What she's really referring to is synthetic chemicals. So that is a problem because of the fact that, once again, our genes are not evolved and haven't evolved genotypically to withstand the stimulus of an externality such as a synthetic chemical that human beings have made. That is not true. In order to determine what we ought to be eating, we have to determine what is indicated for our physiology, which is determined and inferred based on the Darwinian principles of evolution. What did our genes evolve to withstand regularly, according to a very significant amount of time under positive and negative selection pressures that was significant enough to have caused genotypic adaptations to those stimuli? If those stimuli are not accessible given the context of a modern world, we best approximate it with what we have in our modern world, which is where you arrive at a carnivore diet, which is the best approximation to a species-appropriate, species-specific diet. That diet consisting primarily of the flesh and associated fat of large ruminant animals, and now, given the fact that we are in a modern world, added fat in the forms of butter, tallow, lard, suet, and ghee to taste, added salt to taste, and water, based on every hard inference that we have. And we can go into those inferences if they become relevant, Liam. So anyway, he's sarcastically saying exactly instead, so let's listen to what he has to say.
That we should be eating foods that don't have chemicals. Foods like...
Yeah, so this is exactly why I just made that, I just put that caveat in. That's exactly why I said that. Every single thing is made of chemicals. Every single one, because everything is chemistry. We're talking about synthetic chemicals, and that was clearly her implication, but if you actually operated with intellectual honesty, okay, you would have given the benefit of the doubt, you would have given forgiveness where it was actually due, and you wouldn't be a pretentious prick and an Liam. But of course, you're not like that. You're a child, and you exemplify that very well on your TikTok account. So. Yeah, we get your point, Liam, but we also got her point, which is why I clarified it for you. Are you that stupid that you didn't understand what she meant?
Food does not come in a box, and no one should have to tell you real food is natural. You should know that when you look at it.
Well, natural means that it appears in nature, technically. So you could say that something is natural. You could say that these Post-it notes are natural. Okay, this is what I mean. It depends on your definition of natural, but really that's the objective definition. If it's not congruous with what our genes evolved to withstand evolutionarily to a degree that was sufficient enough to cause genotypic adaptations across the majority of our genome, the vast majority, then stay away from it. And that goes for not just food, but all behavior. Of course, there is nuance to this, which is why I made a video talking about the nuance behind this. It's called Modern Life as an Experiment. You have to weigh the pros and cons because we do live in a modern world. So climate-controlled environments are also not congruous with what our genes evolved to withstand to a genotypic degree. But what is the alternative? You have to weigh the pros and cons. So that's why, you know, anyway. Is he done with that video? Because he just went on to a different video. This is, I mean, was that it, dude?
I think we came to the same conclusion. People who say don't eat things in bags and boxes just leave the privilege stick in their butt all night. Now, a small minority, I think, take it out and read.
Okay, so basically Liam is saying that these people are privileged to not have to eat things in boxes. He does this in every video where he just basically misconstrues their entire point. They're saying that in an ideal world, when you have the ability to buy higher quality foods, then do that, Liam. They would all agree that not everyone can do that. Oh my God, Liam. The last video I did on Liam was last year, and it was whenever he said, in response to someone saying that Ensure protein drinks shouldn't be consumed, he said, well, you know, some people actually have to have those, like if they have cancer and they can't stomach anything. Oh my God, Liam, that's not what we're talking about. You're a little snowflakey Liam. You really are. Stop it. You are misrepresenting literally every person that I've ever seen you react to.
Heard it because that's what they enjoy, which, hey, we don't kink shame here. But for most...
This is a grown man, by the way. This is a grown man, right? So really, mentally, I'm older than him.
I think they just leave it in for convenience.
Don't eat anything you don't like.
Agreed.
Eat when you're hungry.
Well, okay. There's some nuance there, but fine. Eat when you're hungry, okay?
Don't eat when you're not, no matter what the clock says.
Yes, exactly. That is what every single human being has been doing for millions of years. Well, until recently. So
Pretty good advice. Hey, maybe this is turning around.
And number 5 is a simple way to remember what we want to avoid. No GPS. No grains, no potatoes, and no sugar.
yes, exactly. Correct. Also, no vegetables and no fruit. Okay? No fiber. None. I already covered this in the very beginning. Okay? Liam here's probably gonna go, well, everything in moderation, bro. Define moderation. Well, eat a balanced diet. Define balanced. And then give your reasoning as to why someone should be balancing a bunch of contraindications that have no place in the human diet.
Y'all ever feel a deep burning rage that...
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Every single time I see your face pop up in my feed, in my DMs, when people send me your videos, yes, I share that sentiment, Liam.
in your core and slowly emanates throughout your body.
Okay, so are you going to actually, you know, cover what she said at all, Liam? Guys, Liam gets paid for this. Who said it's hard to make money in today's society? Oh my God, it's so easy. Oh my God, it's so easy. I mean, what the is this?
Me neither. Listen, I get some of you like low carb, and that's so dope.
Well, whether you like something or not has no bearing on whether it's indicated in your physiology or not. Liam, I am serious. That is a fact. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. We covered carbohydrates in the beginning. We're done.
I would rather have intimate relations with a pencil sharpener than give up potatoes.
Okay, so what? That has no bearing on whether eating potatoes is indicated or not in human physiology and for the overall human genome across the world. Liam, these are not arguments. You are being a child.
Thank you.
That was it. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Liam, for giving us nothing of utility whatsoever. Giving us your stupid, inane little opinion, not covering any of the arguments, just making stupid comments. Childlike, juvenile, schoolboy comments, frankly. That was it, guys. That was the video. I guess I should be thanking Liam for making it so short, man. Wow. Recording days, man. They can be a doozy. They really can be, with the amount of stupidity that I have to watch 8 times in a row. A lot of times. Really not 8 times. I do 8 videos. I'm not reacting every single one, but sometimes. Anyway, just a quick one for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts about Liam in the comment section below. Do you know about him? How do you feel about him? And also, buy my book, Contrainidicated. If you haven't already, a closer look and revision of mainstream health axioms that have perpetuated illness, disorder, and disease for over a century. If you have not bought that book already, second edition is out now in audiobooks, self-narrated, paperback and hardcover, link in the description below. Unfortunately for you, I finally found a way to make my ebook into a reflowable format so I can actually have an ebook available for you. So if you have been someone that has been waiting for the ebook version. Well, fortunately for you, my dear viewer, I'm finally rewarding your patience. Patience is a virtue, as they say. So, with that being said, also subscribe to the Patreon if you haven't already to gain access to 1 week early uploads, ad-free content, uncensored content, and an exclusive Discord server. And also something that I haven't talked about in a few days now, which will be the final thing that I talk about, is if you are wanting to actually fight against this nonsense, but you fear that people won't take you as seriously, you don't know enough about certain things, well, fortunately for you, I have a program that I am working with Carnivore Coach Peter with. Really, it's Carnivore Coach Peter's program that I'm affiliated with that allows you to become internationally accredited and internationally certified coach. A lot of people don't realize that if you want to become a coach and want to call yourself a coach, you can do so right now without any qualifications at all. You can call yourself a coach legally. However, what this doesn't allow you to do is be internationally accredited, internationally recognized, and therefore doesn't really allow you to be a recipient of insurance. For example, if you take on clients, to allow yourself to be more, easily protected under the law. So we have a program that does exactly that as long as you pass that program. I've contributed 4 modules to that program. The website to check out more about it is linked in the description below, as well as Peter's contact information for you to negotiate a plan with him if you decide to sign up, or when is what I should say, when you decide to sign up. It's a great community. Peter's been coaching clients for over 20 years, so he's got a lot of experience, and therefore he also has a great ability to teach people how to become qualified coaches and coaches of integrity and veracity. So anyway, I would recommend doing that so that you can fight against more of this nonsense, because we do need more coaches in the space. We really do. We need more coaches in the space that know what they're talking about, because I'm sure that you've seen plenty of health coaches online that either aren't coaches at all, really aren't accredited at all, and or they just do not know what they're talking about. Eat your carbs, bro. Eat your carbs. So, with that being said, join me next time whenever we react to more arrogance and haughtiness and pretentiousness. So, till then.